Good evening. Definitely not prepared. Not prepared at all. Not sure where to start. My mind's a little bit all over the place. I've written down a lot of stuff over the last few days. Met a very interesting person. If Seamus, if you're around, please, it's exactly 23:32. I have these little, let's say, revelations, little ideas, little visions that just sometimes come to my mind. Sometimes I put my hand over my face and then it just all lights up inside my head. I've had some nasty comments when I make some posts in different places because people just do not know what I see. And it might be a little nutty, a little crazy for all of you who have not been around for 20 years that I have been sharing my visions, my put together of the understanding of what is God's word, the word of God. I like to think sometimes, what can I use for the initials God? Sometimes you see IPA, sometimes you see RIP, sometimes you see IPA. That's your or IPP, internet provider. Rest in peace, rest in pieces as we came into life in fragmentations of the Creator, connected to the central binding conscience of one that is rested. Rest. The word rest, ending in est, is actually a French combinations of letters. Since all first letters at the beginning of any sentence, all first letters are the capital and are used in games as only using the first letter or using the last letter in creating. So all that we create, we have created through the games that we play. And then when we start to use it in a different format, we tend to say, I could have had a V8 instead of a Watkins, an idea, right? Are you 1 watt, 2 watt, 3 watts? Kins just said it. Who's your next of kin? So next of kin equaling to next of kin, that would be relationship, right? If you would say watt, the W would, and the AT when it comes together in the expression would be the A sign. And then you would use that in your email. And depending on what is the actual understanding of when you send an email, when we put that little A, where are we sending it? What is a domain? What is everything to do with the internet? Because in all reality, if we have a connection to the Lord, we have a connection, internet connection, Wi-Fi connection. Also to think, have you ever thought Wi-Fi, wifey, woman, nature, mother nature? Why not father nature? What is father? What is mother? What is female? What is male? Why are we running right now different aspects of I don't know if I want to call it the community of the different sexes, where the same sex comes together, where an opposite sex dresses like the opposite sex, saying they're that sex that they dress like. There's different ways to look at. I'm born. Look, he's got little dingies sticking out. It's a male. Look, something's inside. I see an egg. That's a female. Finished. Now, what happens when you take one pipe and put it into the other pipe? Which is the male? Which is the female? Because they both have a hole in the center. Well, wait a second. When I go to the bathroom, it's got to come out of a hole, right? So we have to understand. We have to understand plumbing. We have to understand electricity. My two major things when I began this project was plumbing and electricity, male and female, and BCE, Bell Canada Enterprises, 235. Oh yes, one of my discoveries today was about 357 Magnum. Painting the Book of Love. You know what? I just have a vision when I'm talking to you. I have a vision of an overpass and a house below that I wasn't allowed to drive on this overpass because of the house below. Now, I don't know if that's like, I remember a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that I think I heard or saw, I don't even know if it was real anymore, because unless somebody's around here that saw it too, unless it was videotaped, it's what I said and what do you believe? And this is being held up in a court system. Hold on, the cat wants to come in. And is this held up in a court system? So now we're going, okay, we have a court system. Who are recording? Or is this a room of judgment? Now, if you have a room of judgment, okay, and this is, I want to see where I mark this down. The room of judgment, the room of judgment. The minion. When you show up to synagogue, we cannot start until we have 10 men. You can have 10 women. You can't start till we have 10 men. Now, whatever is told to us for why we're starting that way, that even if it's man-made, even if it's written or not written, once a word has been created, it is the word in the definition through the central conscience of the day of rest. I believe that when the gates of the Omega Divide came upon us, and God, gates, Omega Divide, God, on the extra point after the touchdown, noted that touchdown, right, is TD, 20 or 2 and 4 or 420, touchdown. When you have 420, you have 80, you have 84. When you have 0, you have all of an area space, meaning that 0 is only all of something. And to note that when you take out your keyboard, you have brackets, right, on the 0 and 9. And it's ironic, it's just ironic that when you look at a dice cube or you look at Rubik's Cube, and then you go over to the alphabet begins on 1. But the end of the alphabet ends on Z28. Sorry, Z26. 2 plus 6 equals to 8. Now, how do I categorize my letters? There's 26 letters. What are the packets of letters? Are there 4 letters? And 4 letters? And 4 letters? So I have to figure out all these mathematical situations that are happening so I can understand, since Z8 is last, what happened to 9? Where's 9? Now, right now, I'm listening to myself talk, and I'm saying, well, this guy doesn't make much sense because he's sending us a whole lot of gibberish. But the gibberish I'm sending you is setting you up, showing you. I need to show you how I do it and what I see, so you can understand how I see it and what I see, why I do what I do, in order to understand. Because if I can't answer it properly or in a manner that it's rational and logical, then it might not have any meaning. So we have to see how we came to that answer. Because we can see that surrounding this center dot, there's 8. But if we only use these 4 over here, there's nothing surrounding it other than the star. This area over here is a star, right? The addition sign, okay, is in between the 4 blocks of the window. The multiplication sign is what would be crisscrossing and connecting. So the multiplication connects. Now, the reality of some scenarios is, what if I turn it this way? Now my plus is connecting to the squares, and my multiplication is separating the diamond-like window. This will show up when you have 4 circles, and this will be in between the circles, the torus or the split area, noting that the torus will show you what is a split area, telling me that when my crossing line comes through the split area, I'm now going to be running torus. Torus is also created. The reason I say torus is because it looks like a bull. And torus shows up when we have these 3 circles show up. And the star shows up when I have these circles that show up. So it creates a star to where here it creates the bullhorn, the 3 and the 4. Earth and Mars. 52, 52, 52, 52, 51, 51. I don't like to do it this way. 51, 51, 52, 104, 156. 13 years. Sorry, 12 years on 13 moons, 156. 6 sides to every single cube times 26 is 120 and 36 equaling to 156. There are 156, so it fits in the category understanding a cube. The cube is noted to have 9, which is noted to be 33. 3 times 3 equals to 9. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. You have 6 sides, and every single side you have 9. Total is 54. 54 is the sun. 51 is Mars. We seem to be running everything by Mars, and I was out in New Brunswick, and it's just so, I don't know what, but everything. There was a bar. The name of the bar was 333. I was crazy. Do you know what 333 is? When you're playing the game as long as I am and seeing where these numbers show up, I'm having trouble with the wire. When you see where the numbers show up, yes, I was using the birdie brain brushes too, yes. So when you see where the numbers show up, three, 333. The pig's pregnancy. 333. 1 times 3, 3. 3 times 4, 12. 1 and 2, 3. 3 by 7, 21. 2 and 1, 3. Now when I see 1, 4, and 7, 1 and 7, 1 separates by 7. 3 and 3, red. And 3, black. The 4 is black. Now we have 1 month of 28 days, the month of February. The second month has 28 days. 2 plus 8 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 2 and 1. February gets number 3. January has 31 days. The first month, 31 days. 3 and 1 is 4. January is now 1 and 4. March is 3 and 4. So March becomes DC. Jesus Christ, Earth, and Mars. April is 4 and 3. The invert of 3 and 4 directly noted in the months and days itself. In May, it's 5 and 4. We come into the sun, and all of a sudden the flowers, we sing the song month, the May of flowers, Mayflowers. We come into June. June is 30 days, 6 and 3. Another day of the sun, creation in the sun of the higher or higher self, 6 times 3, 6 plus 3, 18 and 9 into the house of Bate in the 6th month. The 7th month reverse, 7 and 6 coming into the house of Bate between July and June. the 6th month, and the 7th month. Why Earth and Mars? Because Mars is number 51, 5 and 1, 6. Earth is 52, 5 and 2, 7. It is the Q gate coming into Earth. When we go over to July, it's 7 and 4, Jesus, energy, and time inside of July, July 13th, July 4th, July 31st, July 22nd, 8 has come in. 8 comes in with energy, Jesus, energy. Einstein in 1776. Where are all these relationships? Please ask me the questions. I cannot answer something or tell you a story if you haven't asked the question, so I can't explain something if I don't know which direction you're going into, only what I'm talking about. When we come into the month of August, it ends in 31 days. It's 8 and 4. It's reflecting the moon. 3 by 28 equals to 84. It also reflects Harley Davidson and Pluto, and it's just so ironic that the colors of Harley Davidson are the same colors they use, burnt orange, in construction zones and on Pluto. When you come into the 9th month, it has 30 days. It's 9 and 3. It's going to represent 10. It's going to represent angels. Again, it's going to represent some kind of rotation inside what is the moon or inside what is the electric moon, for the reason that electric is 75, moon is 57. It is the 9th month. It ends in 30 days, 9 and 3, 31, 13, 31, or 3 by 13 equals to 39, 3 by 31 equals to 93. So now we understand the full formation. Now we go into the interior formation, 13, 31, 13, or 31, 13, 31, equaling to what is 57, 75. If it was the Hebrew time, it would be the year 2015, or it would be 20 and 15. Okay, 1 and 5 is 6, 2 and 6. The invert to that would be Mars, because what happens to what is 5? When we sit the dice this way, we have 5 sides. And if the 1 is down, we will have 14 around and 6 up. When the 1 is up, right, the 6 is down, we will have a total of 14 around and 1, 15. So we had 15 and we had 20. Through, she's pulling down my arm. So we have 15 and 20, and that's 2015. And it's just so perfect that the number of moons that are apparent in 5,775 years is 75,075. 7 times 5, 7 plus 5 is 35, 3 and 5, 8. 7 times 5, 7 plus 5. And 7 plus 5 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 8. The church. The total is 47, the numeric value for time. 4 times 7, 4 plus 7 equals 28 and 11, 39. Back to 31, 31, 31, or 13, 13, 13. It's extremely exact. It is perfect, the system. From the day man touched down to the reason today dogs and cats can come on planes and go in restaurants and everywhere else, because on day 6, it was man and animal. And have you ever seen the E sign, that special looking E sign like on A and W? Well, it actually looks like a 3, 6, and an E all at the same time. And that represents the letters I and R. R for me, when I write it as a child, a line and like this, looks like a 12 coming together. When I write the B, looks like a 13 coming together. Here's B. Did you see 13 or did you see B? Here's R. Did you see 12 or did you see the R? What did you see? The R is in the soft A family. The B is in the hard family. Into the house of bait. In French, bait, okay, is the beast. When you say beast, you say east into the eastern house on the day of rest. When you say rest, it's EST. And EST and east, one is in French and one is in English. We're playing between the French and the English. We're playing between you looking at me and me looking at you, and someone behind me and someone behind them with their back towards my back, with the back towards their back, when their backs are towards their backs. And we have all these triangles. Certain elements can see and other elements can't see. And what can they see? And when you're back to back and front to front, what are you actually seeing? What are you facing? All these things are very relevant, because in creation, okay, it's just like plumbing, electricity, setting up cameras, yes, welding and building. It's still all about architecture, except you're just not building a building. You're actually building the blueprints and the structure for communication. And inside this over here, right here, is that gold. Look at that gold. I can move it all around. If you shake your hands, you can feel the wind blowing, that energy. And you can't actually feel that energy, can you, unless there was matter within the energy space, the letter M and the letter E, Mars and Earth, Mercury, the 13 and the 5 ball in pool, which is now all of a sudden orange. Remember, if our central conscience was the Lord defragmenting itself on day 7, we, each individual of one of us, we are all the gods of creation, all connected to the main central system, what they call the extra point. Touchdown, extra point, 2-point play, and the field goal. F and G. F for 6, G for 7, bringing the 3 moons of Mars and Earth together. See, I'm never really sure where I'm going to go with anything. I'm going to just do it really slow. My question is, does the moon go this way, right? Just like the football, right? If I would create that, is that the football? Is that the way the moon would be? Or here's the 3 moons, and now we're going to connect them. This moon here is the Earth moon. These moons here is Mars. And here's the other one, Mars A and Mars B. So why would we have the extended legs? Do we have any more moons connected? Or do we need more dots to connect moons? It just so happens the name of Mars moons is Phobos and Deimos. So we have the Earth moon, okay, which you can see the D letter. But I understand that the Earth moon is owned by Mars, which our moons are supposed to be over here, because we've been divided and we're playing under this crown over here. Let me do the crown another way. The crown is this way. And where do you find that crown? If you go ahead and look at the king or the jack in the deck of cards, you will see this hexagon crown. It can also be this crown. I like to call it the 10-cent crown because it looks like a sailboat. Now, if you don't want to make it that crown, we can come down this way and do it again. 2 dimes, 2 sailboats. At the same time, we can create the octagon. This also looks like a curling, what's it called? A curling thing to throw. But when we're looking at the queen, we look at the queen this way. The queen's hat is this way. This is the queen, the 45 angle, and it fits along with Mars, the way Mars enters Earth. The reason for that is Mars is going to be that. And Earth is going to be that. Mars gets 22, Earth gets 33. 33, 33, 33, 33, 22, 22, 22. Whoop, 22. 88,
132, but I'm going to reduce this one to 3, 6, 9, 12 to 33. And I'm going to reduce this one to 88. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, counting to a single digit. 3, 6, 9, 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 1 and 2 is 3. This is the way we bring Earth together down by the church. When we look at this, we're also going to look at 13. We're also going to look at 18 as we look at 3 and 8.
This is a very intricate web that I speak of. It's a very intricate creation. It counts with everything. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes both ways. You get it? It goes both ways. That goes both ways. And also, the moon you are born through, male or female, you are born through the same moon. In the same understanding of the cycle that the moon cycles of 28 days, 28, 56, 84.
$28. Is it 28 or is it 2 8s? 56. 84 is Pluto. 56 is 3, and you can also look at, say, the wolf or the float. At the same time, 28 and 28 is 47, numeric value for time inverted 74, Jesus and energy, to where we get another 28, and it ends up to be what is 66, and that is freedom and woman. Ironic or not, we have O's inside of it. We have M's. We're not going to get into that right now. When we come over to the next, did I get the 3, 1, 2, 3, and the next one becomes 85. I'm always a little bit confused with this one. Sometimes I remember what it is. It becomes what I see as any craps. It becomes 13, which is also denoted to be what is 85, is also connected to 76. It's also connected to what is 94. 9 and 4, 13, 7 and 6, 13, 5 and 8, 13. This will recreate numeric value 53, which it recreates alpha beta creation. 1 times 1, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 and 1 is a derivative of 11.
Okay, I'm going to get something to drink in the fridge. I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue if it seems like I'm all over the place, because I am. But I'm going to show you, I want to go on to 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 78, and 59. I'm going to jump into the 60s, and I just want to tell you that the year 2029 is the freedom, is freedom and woman. I like to use freedom for the freedom pass. I like to use it for the freedom pass because when we have certain numbers, 50 to 55, I already know I'm somewhere in the center of the field because of football, because of the pigskin, because of the 333 of all of what our games, our calculator, our telephone, our ATM, our 1 month, 4 months, 7 months of creation, because what is 1, 4, and 7? It's our base formation. And that comes out of, if I can find that here, that I run it off of this piece of information over here, where 4 and 9 are crossing, where 8 and 5 come together, where 7 and 6 come together. When those come together, the cube, or the house of Mecca, is explained also to where the 3, if I can find my dice, if my kitty cat would just get off my dice or get another one. When you look at this over here, this tells me that all the opposite sides are 7. Now, if I did it any different, we could, and it is, and it will be different in different houses. But in the prime source house, The only way to meet the lock is to put them all in 7s where 3.5 meets. Because if I put 3 on this side, and what's the opposite side of 3? It's normally 4. That'll leave me with a 3.5 center. But if I put a 2 opposite 3, that'll give me a 2.5 center. That's going to set me up something different with these cubes, and we have to use all of these possible combinations for a better understanding. Let me come back. You want to take a look at the kitty cat? How you doing, kitty cat? Yeah. Do I get any space there, kid? Yeah. No, you don't have to go down. It's okay. Don't run away. Okay. Whoop. I don't want to run over you. Where are you? Okay. Okay, where are we? There's just like, there's always so much. Always so much. Why don't, I mean, no one's asking me this, but I'm gonna tell you that. Oh yes, MJ. Yes, MJ, 10 and 13. I do all of this so I understand the equations, and with the equations and the words that match these numbers, I can understand the equations, seeing the levels, the separations, and how the numbers come together. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense right now. But anyways, let me show you some more of the numbers. Yes, no. So then we have 5 to 10 toes, and 5 is 15, 16, 17, 18. And then I have 5 toes, 10 toes, 11, 12, 13. So 13, 18, 3, and 8. So you notice that I have 13, 3, 8, and so they're repeating, right? Not the same as if I use these two. If I use these two, I can use 2 and 4. 2 times 4, the divided house of 38. So we have to understand where 38 divide the house of 2 and 4. Not only is it 2 and 4, but guess what? It's 7 and 9. So it's 2, it's 4, it's 7, and it's 9. Two, 4, 7, and 9. But wait a second. My toes, I got 10 of them. So if I got 10 of them, I got 10, 12, 13, and 14. So now I got 12 and 14. Wait a second. What about this hand? So I got 10 toes, 15, 17, and 19. And I got the middle finger, which is 3 and 8 and 13 and 18. But what about this? In between 1 and 5, in between Mars, I got 2, 3, and 4. So now we can understand the placement of the numbers because 1 and 5 is Mars. You calling me? You calling me from Mars? Is it the rotary dial and it goes click, 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 click? The only time it goes click, 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 click is when you have this. That is the show up of the angles of the Queen's hat. And it's the alligator. See you later, alligator. Right? Isn't that the way it was when we're just central conscience, okay? Defragmentation of the Lord who rests onto the beast. Note that beast or bait in French, the house of bait, also known to be as the beast or the bet house, house of bet, alpha bet. Note that When you say that word, it also says summer. So the house of Bet, B-E-T, or what is 13 E-T? Like I said, 13, okay, meet me at the Met, also has to do with Snoopy and Charlie Brown, is because the B, sorry, that was a 13. Let me make the B. Sorry, that was a 13. Let me make the B. Or okay, that was a B this time. But you couldn't tell the difference. All in a ball, one and all. So we have the ball, we have the pool, and in the center of the pool is the bullseye. Center of the pool is the bullseye. We go into the bullseye, into the pool, we swim around with the sharks, we find the information, and we come on out again. Or how many to get in and how many to get out? Does it take one to get in and two to get out, or two to get in and one to get out? How do we connect that information? Is one sending it in as the receiver and the other? Hello? Oh, wait a second. We need an operator between the planets. So is the operator 9 and 0? Is that the operator? Because it connects all of the 9s, right? But we can never use more than 6 at a time, unless we're looking for 2 to 1. But we don't even get 2 to 1, because even in roulette, there is no 9 bet. We have to understand through games what we could and what we cannot do, what the game is, what's involved in the game, the rules and regulation of the games. And when I go to the game of roulette, there is no 9, but there is a 9 here. So if I look at this as a hockey puck or a baseball, if I look at it a hockey puck, I got 9 cubes. 9 times 6, 54. 9 cubes. Every cube has 21 dots. 189. But it has 50. It has 6 sides. There's actually 54, 54, 54, 54, 54, 54. 54, 54, 54. But depending on how you want to look at this again, if I only can see 3 corners, the most of the area spots I'm going to have is 27. And then 18. Raw, bait. Raw, bait. So now it shows me 3 is bait coming to earth. And 2 is raw, because I only see 2 colors. So therefore, I'm only going to see 18. So I'm going to see 1 and 8, or 10 and 8, telling me the mirrored heaven in the house of bait. And bait is ETE. And ETE means summer in French. Summer, suntan, net, net worth. If you want to use it, I'm not going to get into all the words. 5470. Oh my God. We can use 75 for the moon. We can use 47 for energy, time, Jesus. Also 70 and half a 70, which runs Kansas down into Texas, the Highway 70 and Highway 35, I like to call the hand of God, and also connected, boom, to Mars. Hand of God's connected to Mars. Hello. So we have these fingers at the end. We have 1, we have 9, we have 10, we have 20.
So now what we have is 1, 9, 10, 20. We also have 11. 5 to 10 fingers, and then this one 11. Not only that, 10 fingers in this one, 15. 5, 10, the 15th, or the 20th.
So we're gonna see what we do. We've got 1, we got that done. 9 was wrong. We don't have it as 9. We don't have it as 9. We have 1. We have it as 10. We have it as 20. We have it as 15. We have it as 5, 10, and the toes, and then this one is 11. So we have 1, 11, 5, 10, 15, and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. We're supposed to have 6, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me see if I got this right. I have it as 1. Oh, I forgot it as 5. Right. Oh, I forgot it as 6. 1, 5, and 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have it as 1. I have it as 10. I have it as 11. I have it as 15. I also have it as 16. Yes, we have to make sure, and 10 and 20. So here's where it goes. The first finger, 5 fingers, and then we get to the 6th finger. And then we have the 5th finger. We can count this as 1 and count this as 6. We can count this as 1 and count this as 5. 5 and then count this one as 6. Now 5 and the last finger here becomes 10. And we got our 10 toes. Then we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're trying to figure out what the last digit is, right? And then we have 10 toes, 5 fingers, and then this one over here, we have 16. So now we have 1, 5, 6, 10, 20, 11, 15, and 16.
And what is ironic is this is the only one that's different. I'm going to explain it to you. In this one, which is the 2nd finger or 4th finger, right? 2nd finger or 4th finger, 1st finger and 5th finger. This is the division of the gate. This is in Mars, right? 2 and 4 dividing the gate. This one, Mars, also the sun is involved in this. Why? Because the in-between to this one is the sun. The in-between to this one creates my vibration. Whichever way you want to go, it can be this way or this way, right? And then in between here is that dividing gate right over here between 1 and 5 inside of Mars. Now, then we have the inversion of 7, 6, of 8, 7, and 6, 21, right? Where we get 4, 3, 2 to equal to 10, 10, 10. We need to create that because of this formation, 1, 4, and 7, where we get 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, right? That's how we get 10. At the same time, if we want to go into the first parts of numbers, 1 and 18, 2 and 17, 3 and 16, 4 and 15, 5 and 14, 6 and 13, 7 and 12. These are all going to equal to 10. (17) plus 2 is 19. And then this one equals to 1 plus 9 is 10. And this is 19. So once we reach the first level, and then we reach the second level, where this level here is going to enter into the moon, Earth and Mars, because we have to go 19 and 19 and 19 and 19. And this is going to be 19. We're going to have 29. And then we're going to add another 19, and we're going to go to 39. And we're going to add another 19, and we're going to go to 49. There was something about the other day, 49. I forget what it was. Yes, in the year 2029 is when we reach this end cycle to the new moon. This equals to what is 49, represents the word 8. Also represents the word green. Did I get that right? I forget what else equal to 49, but it's representing Mars and birth, 57 and 51. The reverse of Mars is 108 total for the 4 letters. 4 by 27 equals to 108. Star Wars, let's go. So what happens over here and why this is what happens? That means all of this here belongs to this area over here. And when it belongs to that area over here, it belongs to this area over here. The reason for that is the math. 1 times 3 equals to 3. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. 4 times 3 equals to 12. 3 plus 4 equals to 7. So the whole denomination of the understanding of that fits over here to this one, the seventh gate. 7 and 3. This is the E world into the moon because of what happens to 12 multiplied, what happens to 13, 14, 15. When I multiply, right, all of these, but I'm going to change something for a second. Just hold on. There's a lot of things going on. This becomes 1 and 9 direct. So this one over here, where the 360, where half the board comes in, 1 through 18 is half of your 36 numbers. This is your first 1 and 9. So this is going to pop back into here and over here. Now everything starts to change after this, right? Because the second one over here is now where your 2 and 8 comes in, your 3 and 7 comes in, your 4 and your 6, your 5 and your 5 come in. Here's your liberty and your freedom in the sun. Your IT system DNA right over here, 514. And then over here, this is the sun. This becomes 6 and 4. Zion, Israel. This is the Freedom Pass. I like to call it the Sky Pass, actually. This is Zion, Israel. Israel is the operator. Goes along with 0. Same numeric value. Direct current or disconnect. The multiplication of this will create 10 and 10. Sorry, will create 12. No, not this one. Sorry, this one will create 19, but that's not the answer. It was that. It was 64. 6 by 4 is 24. 6 plus 4 is 10. This is where your DC comes in. This will now recreate what is this 19. And then it will be the understanding through this. Here is the bat mitzvah. Here is the bar mitzvah. But they each move up 1 rank. Once you attain the age, you're going into the next year of age. So this one is going to be 7 and 3, 6 and 4, 5 and 5, etc. So this is how we reform and understand the numbers. We also have to understand that numbers grow and numbers descend. And how did I do this? 1 and 1 is 2. 9 and 9 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Plus 29 equals to 39. The angels. And we're now connecting to Saturn and the moons. 27 and 12. Now we're going to have to break down this and then break down this. Every number gets broke down in its own category, and then we're going to move over. This one represents the word moon. Is it 1 moon, 2 moons, 3 moons? And then the mirror moon, bringing all the moons together. The minute we get to A, B, C equals to 6F. If we go D, C, B, it equals to 9I, 9 and 6. Rotation of 33 in the sun, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. But the whole full formation of going both ways is A, B, C, D equaling to what is 10. So when you have your A, B, C, D equaling to the mirror, that is the J letter for Jesus, for John, for Jack in the box, for Jack be nimble. Jumped over the candlestick, jumped over the light. All of a sudden, it starts to enter in here, and that enters right over here. This is your first base formation with this over here. The reason for that
is in French. They told me that I have to say, when I say 17, 18, and 19, I have to say 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9. So they've already explained to me what's going on. Remember, gates of the Omega divide, where the conscience on the 7th day, the day of rest, is thrown into a pool where man and animal come in from day 6. They get the touchdown and the extra point, and they put the extra point with the touchdown, and they get the 7th gate. Unlike, there's also other numbers that go along with the cube for 7, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. If it was 2 and 5, we would talk about the weekend and the weekdays. So weekend. The same time, if we're talking about 4 and 3 direct current, we're talking about the center finger 4 going down to 3, 2, the center finger 4 going down to 3, 2. Or we can say 1, 2, 3, whichever way we want to go, and we go both ways for a better understanding. And just to say going both ways, I want to bring this back up again. We're born onto planet Earth with 1 moon, but Mars has 2 moons. 1 moon and 2 moon. We have 2 sexes. How is it possible we all come through the same moon? Logically, it says we cannot. So now we have 2 triangles, and all of a sudden we start to have a whole zodiac system where people, I wish I would like, and I have to, and it's part that other people take part to. I need to add in how the zodiac works, and those who understand the retrograde. I don't understand. I haven't put any time into it, but it's very important that we understand why planets, not why they retrograde, but we just want to know the planets that retrograde. What does it mean? The names of the planets going to tell us something, and everything that goes on. And how can somebody, the horoscope, right? Horoscope. How does somebody learn the horoscope to tell me what's going on? Who are these people that learned it? Where did they get their stories from? Because it's even deeper. That story they got is going to have relationships to numbers, and it's going to go even deeper and give it more of a formation to the understanding of how can they do it. If you don't want to believe something, okay, and if you do want to believe something, if we can learn how it came to be, it's easier to believe. And the greatest thing that we need is we need to believe in something concrete or more concrete. And even though what I'm doing is for entertainment purposes only, it's absolutely concrete because it's all been created on this planet. Let me take a look back at some of the. Sorry about that. Way far out. I haven't looked there. Okay. So let me look up that word hell. SVOO, hell. And right away it takes me to Helsinki for some reason. I don't know why, but it says SVOO, SVOO. At the same time, I want to do a new reverse alphabet where I remove all the vowels and see what reverses for my consonants. Now I want to jump back. I spoke about the keyboard where the 2 brackets are on between 0 and 9. So I need to now further understand 0 and 9 since the alphabet ends on 8, yet there are 2 letters that we count as the 9th letter. What should we do when we get to the letter I and get to letter I and to get to the letter R? What should we do when we get to the I letter? We have J and we have H. So should I be going 9, 8, 8? Is that what I should be doing? The all actuality is this is 8, 9, and 1. As the 10th number, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So when we look at this, we can also look at this. There's 168 hours in the week. So the 6 can always be inverted to a 9. Since the 6 can be inverted to a 9, when you have 0, let's say you have 50, you can also have 59. That means you can also have 56. But at the same time, if you have a 5, you can now have 20, 29, and 26. Because the 5 and the 2 are the same design, depending on whether or not you're looking from the other side of the paper. I want to show you that. Do you see the 5? You see that I marked the 5 with a star? Can you see the star on this side? Let me hold on a second. Hold on a second. We can see the star with the 5. Now we look at it this way. See, the star is on the 2. So there's a difference between looking from the front and the back. And it just so happens that Earth is number 52 and Jack
like the plugin, is number 25 in the short count for Earth. Time heaven. Maybe Earth says ear. Maybe there's 2 ears, one on each side. And now we can use this formation. Why can I use 0 at 9? Because if I went 24 and 20, I would get 44. If I would go 24 and 29, I would get 44. 9 plus 4 is 13. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Remember the formation of numbers. If I want to go to count for number 7, number 7 is 65, by the way. 10 is number 39. It goes along with angels and moon, right? I want to go over, just finish off with way far out west.art, just to see what I didn't do over here. And I'm extremely tired, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to go. Hey, Mars, go to hell. Are we online here? 5-1, toes, space, 69. I'm just trying to think. 1 through 7. 1 through 7, listen to this. When you want to understand the gateway and how it fits together so intricate, when you add up 1 through 7, it equals to 28. The numeric value for man is 28. If you go 7, 6, 5, 7, 6 is 13, then 5 is 18, is the same thing as 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. So now we have 6 and 18, 24. Do you follow what I'm saying? When I go to this one over here, if I add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 from one side, I'm just trying to show you all the equations, right? Equals to 6. Then the opposite of that is 7, 6, 5. And that equation equals to 18. 1 plus 8 equals to 9. The missing part in there is 4. Everything is rotating around Mars in this situation. And when we come into this situation, we're taking the day of rest, the 7th day, accumulated with the day of creation of man, and then whatever happened on the 5th day, all between 5 and 6 are coming into the day 7th day of creation, to where 1, 2, 3, or 3 and 2. 1, 2, 3 is 6, where 3 and 2 is 5. We get the same results. Okay, I'm extremely tired. I can't. There's a lot going on. So I just want to go into the next 2 pieces right now. Right, and 7 and 6, right? This is Earth and Mars. If this is Earth and Mars, then this is the opposite. Now, if this is Earth and Mars get inverted to Mars goes into Saturn, Earth goes into Uranus. So 7 and 3 comes together, Nibiru. To where 7 and 3 come together. Did I get that right? 7 and 3, 7 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold on a second. First and last. Hold on. We're going to use this one instead of that one. See, Mars comes together over here. Oh, I must be tired. Let me see this. 1 and 7 comes together. The first one, the second one, the third one. 5 and 3 come together. Okay, works out. This is the divided gate. Pegasus, the divided gate. Anyways, I just want to do one more piece. We did 10. Now I want to do 7. To get 7, right, I'm going to have 1 and 6 equals to 7. 2 and 5 equals to 7. 3 and 4 equals to 7. At the same time, I'm going to have 1 and 15 equals to 7. 2 and 14 equals to 7. 3 and 13 equals to 7. 4 and 12 equals to 7. 5 and 11 equals to 7. 6 and 10 equals to 7. 7 and 9 equals to 7. I might have missed. Did I miss any more here? Yeah, I could have kept going over here with this one. 8 and 11 equal to 19 equals to 10. 9 and 10 equals to 19. equals over to 10. I'm going to have to explain this one. This one is 1 times 9, 1 plus 9 is what the result is over here. This one is now 8 and 2. This one is 8 and 2, and this is 8 and 2. So all these three numbers are going to come into the same, on a different level, on the same section to a different level. The same thing with all of this. 7 and 9 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. 6 and 10 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, and so forth for the entire thing. At the same time, 8 and 8 equals to 16, as 9 and 7 equals to 16. So you now have 88, you have 79, and 97. That comes into this formation of 7. One of the reasons I use this is because of our formation of the three little pigs. 3 times 7, 21. 3 by 4, 12. 3 by 1, 3. 1 plus 2, 3. 1 plus 2, 3. 3. 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. The three little pigs. We also say Hashem, but this word is actually ham for pig. It's also communication as ham radio. You notice radio looks like 10. Ra, angel resident in Mars 10. The mirror of creation in our vibration of 666 love. 2, 3, 4. 10, 10. 4 and 6, 10. Carry to 1. Carry to 1. The same time it's 4, 4, 4. Or 4 times 4, 44 for 1776, bringing the formation together for energy, something to do with the moon. I'm very tired. So we have that 7 formation now. Now the last formation, okay, is the 4 formation. So we have 1 and 3 equals to 4. We have 2 and 2 equals to 4. We have 1 and 12 equals to 4. We have 2 and 11 equals to 4. We have 3 and 10 equals to 4. We have 4 and 9 equals to 4. We have 5 and 8 equals to 4. We have 7 and 6 equals to 4. They all equal to 13. They now have the bar mitzvah. So now you know when you have this 13, you know the 13, 7 and 6, 13 is going to be the inverted to what is 3 and 4, 7. So now we're going to bring these numbers to the inversion of what these numbers are. Do you follow where I'm going and how that works? Let me see what else I had to do. I still have to understand that 09. Remember, although the alphabet ends, right? We always say YZY. So is the alphabet actually ending at 9? Is the face of the cube 1 and 8 is in one area of the cube, the same way the alphabet ends in 9, but the 9 is noted to be what is the center. Right over here, there's 8 around, 1 in the center, and 9. The total of all is 9. So what does that say about the 9? I have to put my head together and be able to explain exactly what it is, because there's something missing. I just can't figure it out right now. I'm a little bit tired. Today, yesterday, tomorrow. Where else? Another thing I was talking about this week was sun up and sunset. In French, when you say 7, you say it the same way as you say this. When you say 7 and you say this, a set is supposed to be 3. 7 is 7. 7 and 3 come together. 3 is created from 11. 7 is created from 13. 11 and 13. K, MK come together, because 1 times 3, 1 plus 4 is 3 and 4 is 7. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2, 3. Sun up, sunrise. So we also have to use that.
Now, when we use rise, I can also say all rise. The oven, we have the bread that will rise, or the unleavened bread, and then we have the leavened bread. But we all rise when the minion shows up, because otherwise the rabbi in the front is not moving until 10 show up. We call that a minion. So now I can understand more to what all rise in the court system when the judge shows up. All rise. To have a minion. The other thing I was working on was Saturday and Sunday are the opposite days. Monday and Friday are the opposite days. Tuesday and Thursday are the opposite days for the week. I'm just showing you some of the stuff I'm putting together for understanding the equation. Too many. In the game of blackjack, they say too many, too many as an expression. We have Jesus and Moses and Noah, all of the contractors and builders. We have the ham radio communication with the ocean, the ping on the nail. When you take a hammer and you bang it to a nail, you get a ping. When you check the ping on your computer, what is it actually telling you? When you say hammer, mer equals to what is ocean. Me equals to what is our matter and energy. Ham, the ham radio. In H is M. What is M? M is part of the Federation 4, 5, and 6. In order to create the design of this letter, it'll be 3 Roman numeral letters, 1V1, which 1V is 4, V is 5, and V1 is 6. The total can be V1 is 6 Mars, minus or plus. When you have V, you have V1, and it can go along with V11 or V111. So all of a sudden, your V1 for 5 will be equal to 5, 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8 equaling to 21. That 7 is what divides 6 and 8. What divides the 7th gate? In the cat's house, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. In the farmhouse, E-I-E-I-O, 59 seconds, 59 minutes to 0. 0 equaling to what is 60. So again, I'm going to have to understand that. That also fits into 5-pin bowling and into 10-pin bowling. I might be all over the place, but I'm just trying to get through this right now. Oh, I still want to do this one piece that I didn't do yet. Hundreds, thousands, millions, and billions. New Brunswick. It connected me to Mars big time. Another thing I'm working on is a lien, is a lien on something. If you say lime, matter and energy come together, and you invert it to a new word, it becomes miel, which is honey. So now I'm going to invert it to land of milk and honey. Or half of a wing, mi, or halfway, French. 10% of 5, 20% of 5, 30% of 5, 40% of 5, 5. And 4 to the left, 5, and 4 to the right in numbers. But in this actuality, it's 5 fingers on this hand. 3 is what divides 5. Yes, so that's your 4. We didn't finish the 4, did we? We did. Did we do all the 4s? Yeah, we did the 4s. There's also going to be 22, 31, and 13, which is going to create the 4s. 2 and 2, 2 and 11 comes together as this one here. This is BK coming together. This is AL coming together, right? It's also 2, 2 is ape. Inside of what is 4 will be the division of night and day. And that fits right inside the 7th gate. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 is the center, separating both sides. Mars separates what is the mirror.
I just want to do a couple of things really quick. We're going to go to the moon number 57 and 57 and 57 and 57. Although we're supposed to be working off of 5 and 20%, which is the Federation, 5 and 20% is 4, 5 and 20% is 6. Zion, Israel. Take 20% of 5 is 1. Take away and add becomes 4 and 6. That's your 2020. So when we add this, this becomes 57, 114, 171, a gateway. When you add up 1 all the way to 18, it equals to 171. That is your Q gate. It's your Q gate. Where do we get Q gate? 17Q and 17Q. It is the Queen's gate. When you add up 1 through 12, it equals to 78. When you say the word 12, it equals to 87. Queen is 62, and the Q is the 17th letter. The reverse is J10, A, B, C, D, in which it's fragmented into A, B, C, and then D, C, B, decibels, D, C, B, 9 and 6, your rotation. Here's a 9. Here's a 6. But if I put them together, remember, we live in the skeleton, right? We live in the skeleton. Okay, and don't forget, whoop, sorry, I missed it. See that number 8 in here? 1 line of separation, 2 lines of separation, 3 lines of separation, the hexagon. All of a sudden, we want the octagon. We connect the octagon right over here, and it locks in these 2 areas. How the octagon and hexagon work in this. At the same time, we're going to run 1 there. You notice the diamond that's inside of that, right? You see the diamond that comes out of that. And we can just, if you want, we can look at what is Lamed, you know. Then we create this reality over here. Your 6 and your 8. Your 8 is because you connect. The 8's related to the Queen. Why is it related to the Queen? Not because it's 62, not because the King is 41, 8 and 5. It's because the Queen has 8 eyes and the King has 7 eyes. Between 6 and 9 is 7 and 8. 6 being the Jack. There is no card with 9 eyes. That is your birth. So when we get into this over here, we have 228. So we can have 228. We can say ape, or we can say man and rotation of the moon for Pluto. Pluto's number 84. When we add it up linear to a single digit, this becomes 5 and this becomes 1. So 2 moons create what is 1/4 of Mars, and that's in the sun house. Because when you mark a quarter this way, it's actually looking like that, and that's going to represent Jack as a hookup or Earth. When we go to the next 57, it's going to create what is 63. Now, 11 equals to 63, which is formed by 77. 7 times 7, 49. 7 plus 7, 14. And this is going to tell me it's inside the sun. 1 and 4, 5. 9 and 4, 13. 1 and 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a perfect creation. 3, 4, 5, 6. Or how about LOVE? 3, 6, 4, 5. 99. 99, 7, 11. The cube. 7, 11. Where am I next with this? Okay, at the same time, this is going to create what is 18 and 9, the letter I, the letter R. It's one of the rare fabrications in numbers that will reflect its complete opposite in number. This will equal to 27 into the house of Bate, into the house of the Sun, or the Third Reich, Venus. Why? Because what happens to all numbers is all numbers have to be divided by 3 or 4, or they have to be multiplied by 3 or 4 for your base separation. But we use all the numbers to multiply, every single one, and every single one is going to tell a different story. We just have to make sure that we're fair. You know, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to explain it, just like I did with number 5 before. Also to note that 3 and 5 are like each other. 5 can be noted as what is half, and 3 can be used as what is half when you're going against time. You want to go against time, 100% of time. We have A, B, C equaling to 60. We add A, B, C, D equals to 100. We have D, C, B equaling to 90. We have A, B, C equaling to 60. So if you want to know, are we talking about thirds, or are thirds actually perfect, right? That 10% that we need to have 110% to get to 99, which represents Jupiter and which represents the word 13. So now that we did this, we're going to add one more 57 onto right over here. We're going to add it to here. 5 and 1, 6, 5 and 6. Okay. We're going to add one more 57, and we're going to end up with 21. So the moon ends up with 21 blackjack, or 21st, the beginning. This is the first beginning after our base formation. Our base formation is 1 through 20. There are 3 and 1 base formations. If there were 3, this would equal to 60. If there were 4, it would equal to 80. 360, 480. And there's more to it, because when we're working with 3, we're working with 120. When you're working with 4, we're working with 90. We must understand we have to bring things to 360 degrees. So that's the moon. When we multiply it and add it, it becomes 47. Now we can bring this into formation. Numeric value for time. Now we're going to go into the sun. 3 by 18 equals to 54 into the Third Reich. 54 and 54 equals 108. 10, 8. The heavens creation, the queen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have plus 54 equals to 162. Now we're going to be connecting to the moon. Now we're going to add 154 again. We're going to end up to 216, and we're back to the moon in this scenario over here in the house of Bate. The moon diameter is 2160. And the meter is running. Something to do with hydroelectric, and inside the same numeric value for the moon comes out of the connection of the sun. When we do it this way, it becomes 18. Back to the queen, the Third Reich. And then we do 54 again, and it becomes 63. Did we do that? Was I working on 54 before? Or was I working on 57 and made a mistake? 7, 7, 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 5, 5, 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 4, 4, 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 5, 5, 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. The sun and the numeric value for the moon come together. When we add this up again, we end up with 27 into the house of Bate, into the house of the beast, the sun. Now we're going to get on to the next number before I end this to go to bed. We're going to end up with Mars. So Mars is going to be 17 times 3 equals to 51. You see, if it was Earth, right, Earth is 52. And 52 is going to be 3 times 17 plus 1 if we needed to create this number. Mars is also what is 4 times 13, which equals to 52 minus 1, to where it's perfect in Earth. See, the 3 and 4 are the mirrors of each other. If we went over to Earth, right, at 4, we go 4 by 13 equals to 52. Well, yeah, I caught it over here. So, or if I had to do it by 3, I would be 3 by 17 or 3 by 18 minus 2. And then this one over here would be 4 times 12 is 48. Did I do the 3 here? The 3 by 17, 3 by 18 is 54 minus 3. I can't do it. I can't do it for this one. 4 times 15, 4 by 13. Yeah, this is the only way it can be done. 54 minus 2, 3 by 17 plus 1. Is there another number that fits in here? Anyways, let me continue on. So we're working with 51 now. So 51 and 51 is 102. JB, also known as Valentine. So we're talking about the month of February over here. Valentine's is the 45th day of the year with 321 ABC remaining. This is going to be the Fox 666. We add up one more 51. We end up with 153. We end up with the ace and the sun, or the divided sun. We add one more, it becomes 204 or 420. 420 is showing me 4 areas. It also talks about MJ, which is 13 and 10. Now, I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go with that. The total is 23, and the separation between the alphabet, between the alphabet, yes, is between 23 and 24, because D and C and D4 and W23 and C3 and X24 create the 2727 numeric value for the split alphabet. I don't know if I'm saying, I'm just extremely tired. Let me look over far out. The 7th gate, the E world, Regulus, Pegasus, Mentor, Hold On, Master of the Universe, Behold, I Do Something New, Freedom Sun, Skybar, 1993, 83, 203, 223. Teleport, Bet Omega. Let me see. So 3rd day of creation. Now we have to ask ourselves, creation, triangle 1, creation, triangle 2, creation, triangle 3. Remember, we had 10. So we had to have 3 triangles plus 1 in order to create. We needed 3 triangles, right? One, is it a triangle per moon? So I'm a little bit right now tired. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of new things. Distraction, Trenchaw's Boulevard, horoscope, scope, right? Scope, scape, goat, Capricorn, and Aries. Just Aries fits in with that. Aries and Capricorn seem to come together. Jesus Christ, Aries, Capricorn, the moon, man, 169, 13 by 13, 169 plus 26 equals to 195. AE and I come together in that formation. When man comes in, AE and I comes into that formation. When I and E come together, the E looks like a 3, the I looks like a 1, it looks like 13. A divides it. A is a representation, I like to say, of New Zealand because of the line up and the line down, representing the Queen's Crossing, the 45-degree angle. The window, when you create it, it creates a window. When you take this This is going to say Heinz 57. The reason it says that is because that letter goes with the Z. This, whoop. This letter goes with the N. This bar goes with the H. And if I turn it the other way, or if I use it this way, it'll be used for the I letter. So it'll say Heinz. So if I put it all together, just a little bit. So when I put it all together, I create this and that. So I create the star. Star is found on number 8. And that's what happens. The invert word to what is Mars is Heinz. You can see the pyramid that begins with this over here. So where were we? We were at 204, and then we add 51. It creates 250. I can't see. I can't see where I was. 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 153, and 51 is 204, and then this would be 255. So 204, right? We did that over here. I'm extremely tired. I don't know what time it is. I think I'm going to go to bed. If anybody wants to ask me something, like I said, all these, there's different ways of bringing numbers together in formation. Multiply it by 3, divide it by 3, multiply it by 4, divide it by 4, take what's in between. At the same time, things got shifted, where this was when boy and girl were in the scenario. Now it's man and woman. When it's man and woman, it gets shifted over. It gets shifted over to where we're going to go between 4 and 5, or 13 and 14. That's where the alphabet divides. But in numbers, right, because of the letter M, Roman numerals 1000, 10, 10, 10, it now has everything divided at 5. So it gets a little confusing, you know what I'm saying? And it still has to be talked over. I still have to refine this, but I'm 100% sure that this planet was reincarnated, whichever way you want. And we're working off a central system. And I believe it works through our hearts, because when I change my blood, anyways, I can't explain what it is, but when I see through a different window, I believe that it's the heart, or something inside of us, something inside our bodies, the heart, the brain, whichever way you want to go. I'm just even too tired to think. I'm going to go to bed. Let me read Scapegoat 09. Yes, 29, right? That's another thing, right? 29, I like to say it's birth in the house of Bate. 29 is created from 5 and 4. 5 and 4 is created from 1 and 4. 1 and 4 is created from 6 and 5. 6 and 5 is created from 1 and 5, or 2 and 3, or 2 and 7, or 3 and 5, or 3 and 5. 3 times 5, 3 plus 5. 15 and 8, 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 6 and 5. 6 times 5, 30. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 and 30 equals to 41. 4 and 1. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals 20 and 9, 29. So if it can be 29, it can be 26. If it can be 26 or 29, it can be 20. If it can be 20, it can be 420, because in French, when they say 80, they say 4 times 20. And if it's 4 times 20, you're talking about formations now of 1 through 20. And in 1 through 20,
Number 1 will happen twice, and number 2 will happen twice. And also note that 1 through 20 is an alpha omega reality. Why? Because once you get to 18, you have finished your first formation of your 360 degrees. Now we can ask ourselves a question. If the base of all numbers was 1 through 18 or 1 through 9, right? And then 1 through 18, because in French, they say 10-8, 10-7, and 10-9. They separate these specifically, which at the same time, when they separate it, it tells me 17, which fits into Mars, 18, which fits into the sun, and 19 fits into the moon. And the minute you get to 19, you're on the second side of the 36 numbers, or the 360 degrees. So that moon is now on the second side of 360 degrees to what the sun is on the other side. But both the moon and the sun are the split, 19 and 18. So the moon and the sun have to be connected together to where 17, okay, and 20, okay, are on the complete opposite sides. 17 and 20, 37. 20, 2 plus 0, 17, 1 and 7 is 8, 2 and 8. And that is your cycle of the moon. So it's something to do with passing through the sun and the moon. I'm going to be going to bed extremely tired. 1 and 6 is 7, right? Hertz, yes, right. Hertz. How about headquarters? 777 is what's going to connect 364 days, 36 to the mirror. It's also going to connect DC, CDC. It's also going to connect what is 21 to cube. 21 and 343 equals 364 days or 13 moons. Carry the 1, carry the 2, carry the 3. When you're working with number 4, we carry 1, 2, 3. When you're working with number 3, you carry 1 and 2. 12 and 13. Do you follow why? Because in order to make the numbers perfect, you have to add or minus 1. You have to add or minus 2. And when you're working with the mirror 4, you have to add 3 or minus 3, add 2 or minus 2. I'm going to give you an example. You want to give an example for us, eh, baby? You're going to give us an example? You don't like me, do you? You like me? You like me? You have a kiss for me? Look, look. Look, you got curly paws. You got curly paws, eh? Okay, just let me finish this. My mouse is all. So let me finish this last piece here. I'm going to try and see if I can get a number. 51, 52, 53. Also, I want to talk about 66. 1960 to 2029 is 69 years. To begin, it's A, B, C. But once you're born, your first year backwards is 2029. To your first year forward is 1961. So here's your first 69, your first 60 years, but it's not. Because if you're going to count 60 and 61 and 62 and 63 and 64 and 65, right? If you count 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4. You see where the 4 is? Right here. You count the 0, the 4 is on the fifth one, right? 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So you got 10 when you reach 69. So you end everything in 2029. I am going to be 66. Freedom Gate. So 1 through 10 equals to 55, and 1 through 11 equals to 66. Freedom, woman, sky pass, the division of 3 cubes. 63 dots, 162 total area space, to where you have 99 void Jupiter to 63 cubes.
into the house of bait. So this 3 by 17 is going to make it 4 times 13 minus 1. This one over here is going to be 4 by 13. It's going to be 3 by 17 plus 1. This one here is going to be 3 by 17 plus 2. Otherwise, it's going to be 4 by 14. No, 4 by 14 minus 3. Right? 4 by 14. Or it's going to be 4 by 13 plus 2. Now, if I went up to, so anyways, that's the basic thing when you're coming up. And when you do that, when it's telling you about 1, 2, or 3, it's telling you about either the house of bait, creation, or the spirit, the center dot. But I'm way too tired to even continue. I'm very sorry. I'm so all over the place. It's like I need to have like a whole round table sitting here and throwing all the stuff we're doing and what we're going back to so we can explain it all, because it's all explainable. Yes, ham radio, 44, area space, born from ape. You cannot know, and science cannot know something if this is a reincarnated house and it was changed in between. It was changed, it was made, it was created. It wasn't natural. Well, there's a lot of things in this world right now that are happening that are created that are not natural. Right now. Hue is also time. Very good. I like that. Newfoundland, April 8th, 2024. Newfoundland, DNA found. So if it was found, it could have been not lost. If it was new, it could have been old. Old, lost, land. So if it was land, if it wasn't land, it could have been sea. So it could have been the old land, lost sea. It could have been the old lost sea. So if it can be the old lost sea, it can be the old lost creation, because the C letter is for creation. 3 times something equals. Isn't it 6, 7, and 8? Why is 6 afraid of 7? I don't know, but you can tell me. It's too late at night. Jack the Hooker. Right. I like that. TJ Hooker. Jack and Jackie. Yes. Heather Lockyear. I'm doing my best. Number 27, 2 times 7, 2 plus 7. In fact, number 27 and number 35 will both create 23, will both create 6 and 5. Remember, if you're saying a word, 6 and 5, right? 6 is 52, 5 is 42, equaling to 94. Your 6 and 5 will create your birth in Mars. This finger, put a ring on it, right? The ring and the pole. Put the ring on the pole. 2 separate items, right? DCB 99. The reason DCB is 99 is because it's the 99 voided areas of the dots. You might see the dots, but every cube looks like that. What you see here, you see 5 dots, but here's 9. Same as here. This is a solid of what this can be fragmented to. When you add 1 through 20, it equals to 210 or 200 or 2160. The reason for that, and also 1 through 20 can also be the voided 1 through 29. All zeros equal to 9. 360, 47, time, space, heaven. When you have time and space, you have 91, which is 13 by 7, 91 equaling to what is the spirit. 13 is 1 and 3 is 4. You now have 4 and 7 or 7 and 4, which is Jesus and time. Also going to be related to 1776. "52, Earth. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 10 and 7. 10 and 7 is going to equal to what is Mars. Also to note that 10 and 7 is also 1 and 7.
Okay, I'm not sure if we should use it that way because 10 is black. So we can use it that way or not use it that way, but 10 is automatically the mirror or the completion of the mirror because it is 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D added. 52 solar mirrors, house virus. My cat is wide awake. Are you wide awake? You're wide awake? Okay, just give me a minute. Let me go through the rest of these. I don't like to leave any comments out. So for God, his only begotten son, in the house of Beit gotten. If he got, he got, something was given. Only begotten son, Trinity captivated, X24, yes. And if anybody wants to write in capitals, that's just fine because that's all I like to write in is capitals. Jesus and energy is 121 or 1111. Time and joy. Joy, in joy, you see, the thing about joy is O is Mars, Y is Earth, yo, 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 yo. J is your reflection. J is the mirror. So in Earth and Mars, it creates the mirror. It is creating the joy. Matter is 77 and Christ is 77. So in your ear, what is in your ear that you fear? The sandbar, I temple, cute kitty. Just give me a second. I'm going to see something here. I'm live on Facebook somewhere, right? Just give me a second. I want to see something. I have to go over to Facebook to see who's here. Okay, Karen, I see her here. Okay. Cat wrestling, the Navy SEAL, Navy mascot, walking goats, ape and aliens, 29, 8420s. Okay, I can't go through them all. Sorry. We are the body of the Christ. Yes, we are. The Christ is actually the energy. I don't know if it's good or it's not good, but the reincarnation is the numeric value for Jesus Christ, and Christmas is a carnation. And then again, through the war, whatever day that war where we give away the carnations, we've been reincarnated. The House of DC, DC 4 and 3, 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 create 6 and 8. And that is 6 and 8 is the house we live in, the house of this Miss Mew. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 6 and 8. You know? So we're going to bed. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. Good night. You got any questions for me? Like I said, there's one thing. If you want to help out the channel, that'd be fantastic. You can send it to my email, tacpans@msn.com, or whatever, whichever else on PayPal. But the main thing is share the videos, spread the news. We know the word of creation. We know how it all works. We know we can put together this puzzle. The greatest thing we can actually do that I can ever ask for is we need to create a program and input all this information, because what I've mentioned tonight is only a small piece, because every single game, darts, pool, bowling, the time clock, different ways of counting, different ways at arriving at numbers, different art designs that come together for reason, for different reasons. For those who haven't seen what it looks like here, this is what it looks like. If you've ever seen the bass of a guitar in length, here's the front of the bass of the guitar, and it goes all the way down to the end. And these are all the strings on the guitar, and for you, it just basically looks like a diamond. Here's the sign for what reboot is. It's also a piece, a part of what can be Africa. It's ironic that this was not done by me. This was done by, I think it was one of the search engines that happened to put one of my books onto one of my crop circle when I was using the crop circles. This over here, if you take a deep look where my mouse is, there's a person lying here and a person lying here connected to this area over here, right? The two heads are connected over here. Let me see what this is. Then there's a different way for understanding this. Here again, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4, 9 and 4, 8 and 5, 7 and 6. What is 1 and 3? Note that 22 is 8, and it is a division between night and day, whether it's a night and day within our own minds. Here is where Mars and Pluto come together, electric company, the division between night and day, where number 42 comes out. Over here is a picture. If you really look close on top of my head, looks like there's a monkey. This was taken with a regular Kodak camera in 2000 and I think 8, right? Or 2000 and yeah, about 2008, maybe 2009. This picture. Different ways of understanding the way numbers come together. This is all about 6, 1 and 5, 5 and 1, 2 and 4, 33 is solid. This here is what I like to call this is the roulette board. There's 36 numbers running down over here. I just repeated it. And then over here, I connected the outside black numbers. And then the red, you notice the octagon is going to connect 2 sections of numbers. One octagon creates 2 sections. I have 3 octagons inside inside the one area of 36 numbers. This is pi, but because there's an error, I have to start over. And even if there's an error, it's only an error on one number, so it's not going to change the formation other than one area number. And it also sets up as Sudoku. You have to set it up. Sudoku has, I think, 9 blocks in it. Okay. And what it is we're looking for repeats of certain numbers. This is pi. And what I did to pi is I multiplied it by 3, added it up to a single digit where it starts to repeat in certain areas. As I showed you inside of here, where you see the 2 bonhommes, this is what it looks like cut out, the center, to where 2 V's come together to create what is X. And just a few levels of that. Again, that's back to the floor. You can see it looks like there's aliens over here. When you're connecting now the inside of the numbers, of the black numbers. This is what I used to do. Here is connecting 6 of 9 numbers, 369 with 147 and 258 with 147 and 285 with 369. These are this is exactly what it shows. Here's Mars as the window, 22. Here's Earth, 2 by 2, 4, 3 by 3, 9, 4 and 9. The window, the 4th planet, the 9th planet for birth, 6 and 4, Zion, Israel, when it comes together. Let me see what this is. Nothing. In rotation, that's all I can look at it. The Star of David with the cube in between. I also have another one, right? That's basically it. I have a lot more, but I have one where it's all about hearts, and I can't even explain it how everything just comes together. My last one is Allison Gray, and I believe these are duplicates of themselves. When things came together, I'm going to be working on this in art, right? And I think we're going to end it here. I'm going to go through really quick before I pass out on the floor. Don't drink any Kool-Aid. Is there 18 more comments? So let me see if there's anything else. It says there's 18 more, but there's not. I was all over the place tonight. I'm way out of formation. I don't know if you can see the and then there's a few designs. You can't really see the floor, right? The smiles up and down. We can't forget about weights and measures. We can't forget about mixing our colors. We can't forget about hockey, periods of 20 minutes, basketball, periods of 12 minutes, going backwards instead of forwards, because I find by going backwards is just as useful to understanding how everything was created. But thank you for watching this video. Let's see what the cat is doing. We're going to end right now. That's it. It's over. We're going to bed. Is that okay? Yeah. Peace and love to everybody out there. Like I said, if you know someone who knows how to create a program, I'm not even sure I can explain how to do it, but I know I have all the pieces and parts that we can put in that everybody can use. Good night. Good night and shining armor.